friends, and welcome to my page. My name is Maria. If you happen to be watching this part of the video, that means you're most likely watching the replay. So if you don't mind hitting hashtag replay so I can get a notification and come in here and say hola to you. Okay, so happy Sunday. All right, let's get these on because otherwise I won't be able to see. You can most likely probably see the reflection in my glasses. But anyway, I just pointed that out because I can see it. All right. So thank you so much to everyone who is joining me today. I am going to give it a couple of minutes because I still need to look for myself here on my laptop, and then we can start our crafting. So today it is Sunday. Hola to everyone. Was that my Tammy there? Hola Renee, how are you? Just give me 1 second here. All right. Yes, it was my Tammy. Hola, boo. How are you? Okay. Thank you to everyone that is here. Thank you so much. All right. So today we are doing Christmas. Yes, you heard that right. We're doing some Christmas. You can hear and see me. Yay! Excellent. Okay. All right. So oh goodness. Just bear with me for a minute, okay? Why can I not see myself? Ay, Dios mío. Let's do this again one more time. And ay, chinelas. Okay. So I am using the new okay, I'm just gonna have to like ignore it. Hola Jamie, ¿cómo estás? Hola Ramona, ¿cómo están? Gracias por conectarse, gracias por estar aquí. Vamos a ver qué vamos a hacer hoy. Bueno, ya sabemos lo que vamos a hacer. ¿Para qué pregunto? Okay. All right. So hoy vamos a hacer, like I said, I'm good. How are you? I am doing great. You know, I have not had a Sunday off in like what seems forever. I think probably like, I would say maybe a year, if not a little bit more. And I am finally happy that I get my Sundays back. So yay for me. Okay. And today I woke up. I did a lot yesterday. A lot. I was doing a lot of yard work. Because I was like, no, tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to rest. I'm going to, get my Jesus on and drink some coffee and just wake up, without a worry. And well, I did have to do laundry. I got too tired yesterday. I think that sun wore me out yesterday because it was mighty hot. Today, I believe we are like, I think it's 90 something degrees. And I'm actually going to go out there after the live. It doesn't say on my laptop here. This is the new laptop. My old one does show. But anyway, thank you too much. Why can I not see myself? Oh well. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna close this up. I can't see myself. Okay. Hola everyone. Yes, I love this show. Oh yes, look, it says girls trip, cheaper than therapy. True. I've said that many times. Okay, so if y'all are going to be crafting with me, I went ahead and listed the items that we're going to be using in today's tutorial. And if you want to watch first and then go back, just, it's going to be there. I left a list of things. Hola amiga, ¿cómo estás, Debbie? Gracias por estar, girl. Thank you. Debbie Jean, thank you. Okay. So if I have not said hi to you, we'll come back in here and say hi to you. This only gives me one, ¿cómo se dice? I can only see one comment. And I'm keeping an eye on my phone, which I can see a little bit more. Okay, so as y'all, like I said, if y'all seen my list of things that we're going to be using, so the styrofoam, I went ahead and cut this 11 by 9, I believe. And I have the ruler right here. So it's 11 and a half by 9. So you can do yours as big or as small as you want. The reason I have it this size is because I'm going to add more things on top of it. So this is going to be my base for all of my other little cute things that I want to add to it. So as big or as small as you want, that is going to be your option, okay? And I'm using 3 separate styrofoams, and each one is about almost a 1 centimeter thick. So I just went ahead and stacked all 3 up. Hola Jenna, ¿cómo estás? So I went ahead and stacked all 3 on top of each other, and I glued them down. Now Tammy suggested this glue, and I've been using it ever since. Hola Trina, ¿cómo estás? Hola Heidi, ¿cómo están? And thank you for sprinkling. And so I've used it ever since, and I love it because this actually works very well with styrofoam. It does not take forever like this brand. I still use this brand, but depending on what, this does take forever for me, Hola Jennifer, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. So, I do recommend this. She recommended this to me, and I also highly recommend it, okay, when it comes to your styrofoams and everything else too. Thank you for las estrellas. Thank you, boo. Okay, so as you see marks here, so the reason I marked that is because we're going to be cutting that. So once you cut your pieces, if you're going to make it this thick, there's no need to add any plastic wrap, because we're not going to worry when we add the clay that it's going to be bending on you, okay, or curving, whichever. All right. If you happen to be just using 2 pieces, then I do recommend you cover it up with some plastic wrap. That will prevent your clay from bending or curving it, because we all know that the clay on the outside dries a lot quicker than the clay inside, and it sits there longer. So while it's sitting there in all that moist clay in the inside, it's just going to be doing this to it or this, depending. So I'm using 3. I'm not going to worry about the styrofoam. All right, so now because I have all 3, you can see there's a piece. These 2 were pieces, like one long strip. What I did, I just went ahead and cut them down, and these obviously were 2 other pieces, and I didn't care because I'm still going to be trimming this piece right here. Right here in the center. So I didn't care if this was spread like that. Okay. Hola Janet, ¿cómo estás? All right. So here is my piece. I'm going to work on this side so you can see. I went ahead and made a V because this is going to be where the book is open. All right. And then I'm going to just, as you saw there, let me do it again, because what I've noticed that it was not even cut, so I had to go back in there and trim a little bit off. So I'm going to show you. I'm using a black marker because a black marker is a lot better or any color marker than if I would use a pen. I mean, you can use whatever. If you can get away with using the pen and you can still see the lines, that's perfect. But I prefer the black marker. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I made like little hills, because those are going to be my pages. Okay, so let me I'm just going to do this just so you can get a little bit more of a visualize of what I'm talking about. Okay, so those are going to be my pages, right? So this part right here, this part right here, we're going to trim all of that off, and then right here in the center as well. Okay, and the same thing that I did up here and the front, I'm going to do it to the back. So let me just trim this. Now this piece on the back side, I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, so as you can see there, you see this is a piece that is missing there, and it's smaller because it's all like dented in. I'm not worrying about that because once we get our piece cut, I will see you. Thank you. Yes, the brown one is really pretty, right? Hola, Eliana, ¿cómo estás? Okay, so this piece right here that is there's a little gap. We're not going to worry about it because we are still going to be adding something there to, to blend all of that in. Okay, now I went ahead and lined that up. Oh, let me do this here as well. Okay, so now that this is all, I have my line. Now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to cut it going this way too. Okay. I'm noticing that this side is a lot. I'm going to cut more on this side than this side. But that's okay also because the pages, you know, one side can be a lot bigger than the other side, you know, if you know what I mean, when you like open the book and then you have more pages on this side than you do on that side. So we can make it look like that. Or let me see, I want to make sure. I think I did a little bit too much on this side. And I'm just using here any black marker that's going to help me. Okay, just want to make sure. All right, and then I'm just going to cut. Let's see if I can see. I'm going to trim off about right there. So I'm just going to put a line of how much I'm going to be trimming off. Now I have a video also already on YouTube of how I made a book, but that book was for Halloween. You know, if you want to watch that video. This one is going to be Christmas. Okay. All right, so now that we have it all perfect. Now, the bottom one, you want to make sure you do not cut that one off, okay? Because we're going to need that part right there. So we want to make sure. And then either you can use, I don't want to say it out, you know, or this tool, a sharp tool to trim it off, okay? I'm going to use this for now. And I make sure that these are glued down first. When you use this glue, and if you, I use something heavy to set it up so it can, you know, glue together a lot quicker. All right, so we're just gonna glue this. Glue this. We're gonna cut this. I do have a foam cutter, but it throws too much of a smell out. And you're supposed to really use it when, like an open area, but it's okay. And I was gonna cut this before I came in here, and I was like, no, we're gonna do everything there. Cool. Everything. This is pretty hard. Okay, but we are determined to cut this. All right. So just be careful when you're using this tool. I do not recommend you letting a child do this because, well, we already know why, okay? You can cut the piece off for them and then they can do the rest. Okay, so there goes one. You want to start doing this like in an angle. Because the one on the bottom is more of an angle. Oh my lentils. This is this is mighty hard. It's a lot easier to cut the other piece that I had. This is more of a, this is smooth foam. The other one is too, but I think the other one is a lot easier to cut. Okay. How getting my workout today. Okay, so here are some pages. Okay, these are going to be the pages. And then this is going to be our book, or the hardcover. The same thing we're going to do on this side. And then, of course, we're also going to be using a sand block. If you don't have a sand block, you can just use sandpaper. Right, just bear with me for a minute. And I need to, see, that one was easy. And then, of course, let's do this in an angle. This will go a lot smoother and quicker if I would use my electric, you know what, tool. Oh my goodness. tired. Dios mío. No, todavía no. Vamos. Come on, Maria. You can do it. Oh my Lord Jesus, this is... I need a break. Hola Iris, ¿cómo estás? How are you, Mom? Oh my goodness. Okay. That is some strong glue. Okay, I think I got it. I'm gonna make sure that this is all in an angle. Okay. Whew. All right. Get this out the way. All right. So now with our sand block, we're gonna be. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. Happy that it's Sunday. You know, resting here. And I actually wanted to come here earlier, but I was like, no, I already told them what time I was gonna do it. But I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing today? How's your Sunday going? What are y'all guys doing? Or ladies. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say guys. All right, so this is going to be kind of annoying, so you might want to turn this down because this sanding is like, hurts my ears. So let me just smooth this out. And then you want to smooth this also. Okay. That. All right, and then the inside, I'm gonna smooth that out too. Can y'all hear marshmallow? Sorry. I was hoping he would take a nap, but he did, and I was hoping he would take a long nap. Uh-oh, I think I can hear him whining. You're watching and painting a birdhouse. Ooh. Did you make the birdhouse? Or is it made out of like, well, is it a one that you made like from clay, or is it a wooden birdhouse? It's peaceful, yes, right? Should be like that every day. Okay, so we still need some more sanding right there, because you can see this right corner right here. That's why it's good to have this black marker, because it helps you spot it a lot quicker than if you were to use a pencil, I think, or a pen. For me, because I'm like half blind. Alright, so it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, because we are going to be using clay, and clay does cover a lot of those imperfections, so that's fine. Alright. Okay, and don't worry so much about this part right here, which I still need to cut that. Yes, I hear you. That's what I was like today. So I need to be a little lazy today. Yeah, today's Sunday, by the way. You know, we're not supposed to, I mean, y'all know that. We're not supposed to, like, do nothing but just thank God, you know, praise Him and resting. That's what Sundays were for. And that's why it would always bum me out, because even though I would have Mondays off, but to me it was like any other day, you know. Any other day. Do some praying. Let me see if I can cut it a bit more. I think this side is. Because this part right here in the middle, I don't want it to be flat. I need it to be like curvy. Okay, so cover your ears. So I'm just gonna sand this in an angle and try to get it to look like that. Okay, I won't tell the rest of the primos what you said. Okay. All right. That should be good. That should be good. Okay, so now we're gonna clean up the surface. You want to make sure you clean it well, because if you get any of this pieces of styrofoam in your clay, not only is it going to be noticeable, it's going to be a nightmare to try to pull it off. Pull them out, I mean. Alright, so let me just clean this up. Okay. Alright. So are you ladies ready for Christmas or no? I mean, you know what? If you want to make this book, it's good, and you can make it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. You can do, 4th of July. You know, you can make a Halloween book. It can be for Thanksgiving. It can be a cookbook. You can write some recipes in there. But I recommend you to do that when it dries. You know, the clay dries up, of course, which I'm sure you all know that. But in case you're new to using clay, you want to make sure your clay is completely dry before you go in there and start writing anything down. All right, now let me get my other. No, you're not ready for Christmas. I remember you saying that. All right, so let's get this out the way. And actually, I forgot to grab one. I'm gonna use a white también because I feel like it's not clean yet. All right, let me just clean this off because I really don't want all that clay. All right. You're ready for Christmas? Right? I'm ready for Christmas. También. I want to just skip over Halloween. 4th of July. What else do I want to skip? What else comes? Thanksgiving. Well, I don't know. I like Thanksgiving también, but I don't mind skipping it over. Okay, so another thing that we're also going to do, you want to cut a piece of a foam sheet because that's going to be on the back. We're not going to glue that just yet. We're actually going to glue this once we're done with the book. If you want to glue this first, that's totally up to you. Hola, Peggy, ¿cómo estás? But just keep in mind that when you add your clay, we're going to be lapping it over. So if you don't mind that clay showing, again, it's up to you if you want or not. Totally up to you, okay? But I am going to actually be doing this after I'm done with the whole thing, and then I'm just going to glue it out. So you can have it a cleaner background. Then again, we're not going to look at it because it's going to be like this. So it's up to you. So you want to make sure you cut that, because once you do your clay, then of course it's going to be, unless you like wait for days for it to completely dry, then go in there and cut it. But I always feel like it's best to do it before because it's a lot easier. I don't know why. It's a lot easier to make sure that you cut the right measurements and all that. I mean, it's just me. No sé. Pero this is the color that I'm going with the background. I'm not going to do traditional. At least not that I know of. Maybe I will do a traditional book. But right now I want it to be whimsy, Christmassy book. Okay, and so this is the clay that I'm going to be using. The color of clay, because that's the only one that I could find that was dark enough for that piece of. And of course, this is Bose clay. So that is the only one. Now, what I am actually going to do, not use this just yet, because that's going to be my border. So I'm going to put that to the side, but I am going to be using the white clay. And you can make yours any color, pages, whatever color you want. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do before I even cover the entire piece with my clay, I'm going to make one that is separate, and I'm going to let it sit to the side because I want it to dry up before we're going to lay that one on top. because I want it to look like the page are turning, or it was turned, or you know, you'll see in a minute. We also want to make sure that the piece is a little bit larger, because we know that once that clay dries up, it shrinks on us. So I am going to be making it about half of an inch longer, okay, than the size of my book. Okay. All right, so let's first do the page. Okay, and let's begin. And oh Lord, this is too much. Ya me conocen, I can't do large pieces live because I have to like practically almost stand up. And then move this out the way. Okay. So, is anyone crafting along with me other than, who was it that was, was it Jennifer that said that you were painting? Oh, Ramona, you said maybe Halloween. Halloween is good. I like the not the scary Halloween. That book that I did on the for a it was made out of wood. Okay, Jennifer. The book that I made for over on YouTube, that was like the scariest Halloween thing. You know, like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? But I wanted to always do one, so I was like, let me do that. Okay. Now, here's a question for all of you. For those who are doing the Christmas book, I'm thinking about, you know, and I've said it, I'm thinking about adding, oh, you are, what are you making, or what are you working on, Renee? I'm thinking about adding other things. One of the other things that we're going to be doing, okay, if you're crafting along with me, we're going to be making a nutcracker. We're going to be making a Christmas drum set. We're going to be making Christmas boots. Something different. Oh, teapots. Okay. Well, thank you for being in here and crafting along with me. We're going to, and those are some of the things. I want to add some toys in there too. So, the boots is going to be the next thing that we're going to be making. So, and I will also let y'all know, like, what are the main things that we're going to be needing on that. And then, of course, I'm going to add, like, another list next Sunday. Let me see. What size was this again? The page, so it's a 9. So I'm going to make it, I'm going to cut 9.5 by 5.5. 9.5 by 5. Hola, Lucy, ¿cómo estás? Because this is not even, look. I don't know how to make tortillas. Oh, goodness. No me puedo casar. No me debo que casar. Okay. It's a joke that when they were like, say, if you know how to make tortillas, you can get married. I'm like, not me. Okay. Que era 5.5 por 9. Okay. Alright, so 5, 9. That one looks like it's a little bit too. Okay, by 9. Let's cut, let me see, let me make sure. Por 9. Okay. All right. So if you want to make your pages to look more more vintage looking, then you can make it like out of light brown rather than to be using white pages. Okay. So it's like I said, it's totally up to you what color of pages you want to do. But I'm going to be using white. If I would probably, I think that if I would be making a traditional, then I would do the light brown. Yes, I can. Yes, we can make a Santa stack. Yes. Okay, I'll write that down. Ay, perdón. If you have any ideas, we can add those to, we can add that, and so we can do the toy sack, right? And we can add those like a couple of toys in the toy sack. So one of the toys I'm thinking about doing is a bear and a what do you call that toy that I think it's called a top. I don't know that. It was round like that, as a like little pointy, and then you would just push, and then just it would spin. I don't know what they call spin top. I don't know. But we can make toys for the toy set, so that would be cute. We can do that. Yes, most definitely. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side because I want it to start drying up, but I am going to clean up the edges. Let me do this one because this one is probably better. So if y'all want to add like what toys should we add to it, go ahead and put them in there so I can then, if I miss any, I will go back and I will see, and we can add that for sure. Okay. So it is not perfectly squared off, but that's okay. We can go in there and trim off a bit. It's going to be fine. Or we can make it look more like pages have been worn out, But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put this to the side. Well, it starts getting dry on us, okay? So now we're going to add, we're going to cover this up with the whole clay. All right. And this is going to be a challenge. So this is a long process. Okay, just give me 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So any other ideas of what kind of, what other toys we can add to the toy set? Or is there something else we can add to it? Because right now is not the gingerbread. What is it called? Soldier. The nutcracker. The boots. A drum, and a toy sack. A teddy bear? Okay, yeah, we'll be adding a teddy bear inside the toy sack. I think that would be cute. We'll do the teddy bear as well. I think that should be. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand up for this one. And I'm working on getting a taller desk where I can stand rather than to sit, because this is why I have to stand up. Sorry. I'll be done as fast as I can. Okay. Is the camera moving or is it just me? Okay. My goodness. I think with not having to, to rolling this out, we get our workout, at least in our biceps. So I can say I did work out today. Okay, and this clay is pretty thick. I don't want it to be too thick. So I am going to try to, so it's good. Let me take these off. This is really late. Okay, and if you hear my stomach growling, it's because I skipped lunch. So I do apologize for that. I had a tangerine and I don't think that's doing the job. I think it's still hungry. But I did have 2 cups of coffee, so I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. Get out the way. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. A present? Yes. We can do a present. Let me see. Yes, we can add a present. Yes, right next to to the toy sack. We can just add it right next to it. We can add the teddy bear either on. Se me rompió. Teddy bear either we can put him inside the toy sack or we can set him on top of the gift box. Okay, I think this is. Let me see. Yeah, this should be good enough. All right, so just give me 1 minute and I'm gonna sit back down, okay? But I am gonna lay this on top of my book. Okay, so can y'all see? Let me see. I might have to move the camera a little bit back. All those little bubbles, we want to make sure we pop them. Okay. Voy a mover la cámara para atrás. Hold on a second so you can get it better. There's my book. Let me get that out the way. Okay. All right, so there we are. Just pressing all of this in there. Okay. Press this all in. I've seen those. Are they sturdy? Because you know how we always rolling out the clay. What I don't like is that the table moves. You know, this one is pretty sturdy, so this one doesn't move. Well, a little bit there if I went that way, but I have seen those, and I'm like, are they sturdy? Because I want one where I can sit the camera on top of. Right now I have it on a stand, but sometimes when I have Marshmallow in here, he hits it, he bumps into it. Okay, let me see if I can lift this up. All right, if you can ask her if it moves or not. All right, so now we're just gonna go right ahead and press it all in. Okay, and now this part we're gonna need let me trim some of that off. Vamos a necesitar ¿cómo se dice? Oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? Okay, this is our board, I mean our book, right? So we're gonna trim some of that off of there because we're gonna, but not too much. We don't want it to shrink on us, and then we'll see that gap in there. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. My goodness, my hand is shaking, all of that coffee. Y nomás le estoy cortando, like, I would say 1/2 inch también. Okay. Okay, vamos. Hola Helen, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, amiga? How's your Sunday going? Okay, so yeah. All right, so let's get this clay out the way. Okay, now that we rolled it up, I don't need to stand up anymore. Okay, ahí estamos. Ahora, you can either use a ruler, you can use a cutting tool. Okay, so you want to like lap it over a little bit there. ¿Lo ves? Esto está bien, just que esté así. We want to make sure that when it dries up, it's going to shrink, pero que no se ve. And this part también, otra vez, doesn't really matter if it's lapped over because we're going to use the pink one. Ahora, there's my book, right? you're gonna use something that we're gonna make like lines in here. They're gonna be mimicking the book pages. We're just gonna press that in. See, the reason I'm using this long one is because I'm trying to get the straight lines like all at one time. Pero si no se puede, that's okay. You can, you know, if you don't have nothing long. Okay, so let me show you. Do you see? We're going to be doing that. All right, so now on this side, and then this side, you see how it curves? We're going to need, let me do the ones on the top first. I'm just going to use this, try to see if I can make that curve. If you don't have one, that's fine. You can still make it line. I'm trying to think like what tool can we use to make that little line there. You know what? Let me use this. Okay. Oh, it looks fine, just like that. Straight lines. Okay. Pero en el centro no, because remember in the center is where the book opens, and there's not a. I was just gonna cut that like that. There's no pages there. Vamos a ensalar. This side. Oh my gosh, all this coffee, my hands are shaking. I had too much coffee today. Let's see. Okay, so don't press too hard in there because you can cut the clay and you don't want to do that. So just do a lot of little lines. Just mimicking those line pages. So you gotta see, okay? And then that's it. All right. So now that we have our pages in there, we're going to go and add. We are going to add the border. We're going to do this color. Okay, so let me see. Tenemos. Let me write these things down, ya que estoy aquí. We said Santa's sack, toy sack. ¿Qué más era? Oh, the gift, the present, the teddy bear. Anything else? What else should we add to our book? Do you have any more ideas what we should add to our book, or is that enough? Should we add some like sweets to it? ¿O qué piensan? ¿Sí o no? Okay. So con este, this is getting stuck to that. Let me just let me put this over here. For now, because I'm running out of space here. Okay, so vamos ahora roll this out. Okay, we're gonna need long strips. How long? What was it? 9? See, we're gonna do 9.5, just to make sure, and we're gonna lap those babies over. Snowman, yes, sweet. Okay, yeah, we can do a snowman on there. Hola Debbie, ¿cómo estás, amiga? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay. How are you doing? Are you at the ranch or trabajando? ¿O te la estás tomándote suavecita, staying home, relaxing? Catching up on Netflix or on your telenovelas. You mentioned a top. Yeah, is that what they're called? Are they called tops? Because I was not sure if that's what they're called, but I think that's what they're called. A top. Like put one on there también. we're trying to get, I'm asking Debbie for more, Debbie, I'm asking the girls, what other toy or what else can we add to, on top of our book. So far we have the toy sack, Santa's toy sack. We're going to be adding some toys in there, which is going to be a teddy bear. We're going to be adding a present. We're going to be adding, ¿qué más? A drum. Oh, there it is. I'm going to be adding, what else are we adding? Boots, Santa's boots. Or maybe, it could be anybody's boots. We're going to be adding, ¿qué más are we adding? Here. There. Yes, we're making a Christmas book. What is it called? A good list or the naughty list, And ¿qué más? Oh, and then the nutcracker también. We're gonna make a nutcracker. So every Sunday we're gonna come in here and we're gonna be making something new for our book. Oh, that's nice. Ah, qué bueno. I'm trying to get my boy to come and spend the night. Pero quizás si viene se va a traer la suegra. Y ahí, that's a different story. Oh my goodness, Maria, stop. Be nice. I'm like, ¿por qué? Si me quiere quitar mi hijo. Anyways, yes, we're doing the nutcracker, a top, and I think that's it. Is that all we said we're gonna be doing? Oh, and then some treats. We can make like are they Christmas candies? I think so, right? Like candy cane, obviously, because it's a whimsical book. Whimsical Christmas candy land book. We can add like treats in there. Even if it's traditional, you can still add the treats. How about some light bulbs, like Christmas light bulbs? What do you think? Okay, let me move this thing out the way. Y así, vamos. Okay, hasta para allá. Let's get our book. Okay, now, because the bottom is an inch thick, we're going to add the inch and then we're going to flip it over, okay? So we're going to flip over our book first. We're going to start this way, being careful. Of course, we're going to have to clean the edges first. And whatever we're going to cut, whatever's left, okay? But we're going to still use those pieces también. If you want, you don't have to do the, this part in clay. You can use foam sheet, like to do the border. You can do that. Okay, y así. The inside we're gonna do more because it's a little bit bigger. This, but only on this, on the ends, right here on this side and on this side. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do just half of an inch on one side and y el otro también. ¿Dónde están mis tijeras? Behave. Pero me quiere quitar mi hijo. No, I need to, because no sé si va a ver esto. I say, I told you. I told you. Yes, okay, Christmas light bulbs, we can do that. Okay, so there's one side, and this is what we're just going to do on this side and on this side. And then here, we're going to add a little bit more clay, okay? Vamos a botearlo para este lado. Okay. And then, let's, let me clean this up. And I feel that this side is a little bit thick. Okay, vamos a cortar allí. Okay, trim that off. Trim that off también. Y ahí estamos. Okay, now how about some ornaments? Should we add ornaments también? Okay, ya que hicimos esos dos lados, vamos a ponerle the other. I'm gonna turn this way. Okay, and then this side, because like I said, it's clean the edges, Maria, clean the edges. Esto se lo vamos a poner on top, right on the top, and then we're gonna fold it down, which it's not wide enough. Okay, so that looked like it was, we cut that an inch wide. So we're gonna do 2 inches. So let's put this to the side. And let's do another strip. This one is gonna be 2 inches wide. Where's my ruler? My ruler. My big boy. Now, because that it already has clay, I don't have to worry about making this too thin. I don't want it too thick either. That's why I'm not adding the rings on there. Okay, so hopefully that should be big, wide enough. I mean, oh, an elf. Yes. There we go. Yes, an elf. Why did I not think of that? An elf, yes. Have y'all already done elves or not yet? I know Miss Tammy has, because Miss Tammy's been sharing with us her elves. So I know she got that packed down. But yes, an elf. We can make an elf. Yes, for sure. See, Ramona is coming up with all of these great ideas. Ramona. Hola, Tina. How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm just going to trim off a little bit. So, okay. So as long as what's going to lay on the top is, I'm going to have to do another strip, is even. I don't care about the other side because that's going to be covered up anyway. But, and then it looks like, hey, no. Vamos a poner así. Should have grabbed. Okay. I'm going to add that and that. Cutesy. This is looking cutesy. Like, okay. Make some noise. I'm gonna have to roll out more. Okay, and we're gonna pull this over. Hola Brenda, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Okay, so ahí vamos. See where the line was. That's because I had it right there, so I think that's where I'm going to be adding my page. But if that happens, it's okay because it's not deep. You can also go in here and do this to it. Like I said, it's not deep, and once it dries up, we know that it would disappear as long as there's no really deep. Maybe I should use the other one. Maybe I should use this one. Deep's prints in there. Okay, that should be good. All right, so now we need one more to add on this side. Okay, and no te voy a poner allá. Okay, what time is it? Oh. Okay, let me just pull this out again. Oh. All right, so now let's see here. We need another. Get a 9 and then 2 inch. Yes, 9 inch long and 2 inch wide. Let's see here. Okay, well, I think that should be it. Yes. Now, if you want to, again, write something on there, it's totally up to you. You don't have to. But if you do, you want to make sure that your clay is completely dry. And maybe a stocking. Well, I don't know if a stocking. We could do a stocking, pero if there's any space left, we'll do a stocking. But we'll see in a minute. We're going to see if we can measure if there's going to be enough space. But yes, keep them coming, girl. Keep them coming. Okay, so if you do want to if you want to write something on yours, you can wait until it dries up and then go in with a pen, not a pen, a marker, or not, because since we're going to be adding a lot of stuff to it, you probably won't be able to see it anyways, but it all depends on you. I am going to write that on there because there might be spots where you'll be able to read what it says, you know, so it's totally up to you. Just keep in mind that it is your piece and you can do it however, you can make it however you want it to look like, okay? So I think this should be good enough. Let me roll that out a little bit more. Hola Mary, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Thank you for joining. Okay, entonces we're going to, let me trim this off here. Don't really need it this long, but sometimes it's best to cut it a little bit longer, and this way you'll know that you can just trim off what you don't need rather than to make it small and then go, oops, not big enough or not long enough. Okay. Wait, did I say 2? I did 1.5. Can I get away with 1.5? I think I can. I think I can. Yes, because this is what we're going to do. Since it doesn't necessarily have to be that thick, we can just roll it up a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Cut this way and then this way. Okay. And we're just gonna have to trim it up again. But that's good. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm happy that you're doing good. It's always good to hear that people are doing good. Okay, no necesito tanto. I probably could have gotten away with the other piece, pero just to be on the safe side, like I said. Okay. Y ahí estamos. What am I making? I am making a Christmas book. If it lets me. Oh my gosh, I don't like it. I don't like it. That was way too thin. I just tried to lift that up and it just like fell apart. Okay, let's do this again. Pero sabes que, let me move this because this is really like, there we go. Let's do this one more time. Okay. We're going to make a Christmas book, and then we're going to come in here next Sunday and we're going to add different things to our book. We're going to do this until we cover our Christmas book with different little, anything that's Christmassy. That reminds us of Christmas. So, you can, I decided to make mine like Candyland theme going on, you know. You can do yours with traditional, which I was thinking about maybe making a traditional one as well. Okay, let's try this again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's how that goes. If at first you don't succeed, get up. No, wait, how does that go? Okay. ¿Nadie sabe? Alright, so, okay, just want to make sure I clean this edges. Alright, there you go, way much better. Yet is there, we're going to line it up, press that down, press it down, trim this off, okay, trim this off, perfect, okay, so before you start pressing it down, you want to make sure that it's lined up how you want it, because keep in mind, once it's pressed down, if you don't like it and you try to take it off, it's going to rip up the clay. If it's not lined up, then of course you can just yank it up real quick and you got it. You first don't succeed. You don't succeed at first. Try again. Got it. Don't succeed at first. Try again. Thank you. Okay. And then there's, so far we got our book going. Now this right here, once it's completely dry, we're just gonna cover this up like that. And that's why I wanted to wait to cover it up so you won't see the clay. You can do it afterwards. I mean, you can do it first and then lap the clay over, totally up to you. But I think for me this would be a little bit cleaner. You can do yours however you want. Okay. Alright, and then we're just going to press this down. We're going to make sure that you press it down because when it dries up, it will shrink. And I don't want it to shrink. I have where it shrunk on me and then it pulls away and you can see where it pulled away and it's almost like smeared. And I don't like that. I don't like that look. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like by saying smeared. Okay. So ya estamos así. Ahora, when it comes to the page that, I got some clay there. I'm not going to add this just as of yet. Try again. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mary. I'm going to let it dry before I add it there. You can add it if you want to. It's totally up to you. You don't necessarily have to do this step. I'm going to do it because I want my book to mimic like it's a page is about to be turned. Okay, once I let it completely dry, then I'm going to go in and just going to glue it down. Now, the way I want it to look like it's the page is turning. This right here, I don't care. I'm going to rip that off anyways. If it's, I'm going to let it, and also when it dries up, it's going to shrink a bit, right? So I want my page to look like it's about to turn this way, and then this can be lifted up or it can be lifted down. However you want to place yours is yours. So let me see. If I got a page, I can either, it can be lifted like, no, because I need to make sure that I'm going to do this. This is probably not going to be enough. Probably too small. Too light. Like that. Because I'm going to be adding stuff on there. I wanted to make sure that when I place the other stuff on there, it's going to, it's not going to be like lopsided or, and it's what, look like it's leaning out or over or lopsided or whatever, you know. So I want this to turn, let me see if I can get the page like that. I want it to look like it's used, like an old book. Okay. And it look like it's not going to take that long to dry also because it is thin. So I'm just going to let it dry for a bit. Once it dries, because right now it is drying a little bit since I have the fan going. So once it's completely dry, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to place it there. Once it's also after that, I'm going to go in with my marker. I'm going to write naughty or nice. Is it naughty and nice or naughty and good? Is it naughty and good list or good list and naughty? Anyways, I'm going to write that down, one on each side. This one okay. This one right here, I'm going to choose which one is my good side. Okay, so I'm going to add it on, the page is going to be on this side. If you want, you can add it already. Just whatever we're going to use that. You know what, let's just do that. Let me see. But the reason I wanted to do that is because I know if it shrink, it's going to, I mean, once it dries, it's going to shrink a bit. So you can just cut that off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it like that. And whatever it shrinks, the long pieces, I'm just going to trim that off. I'm going to come back here and just trim it off. So, but I want this one to go a little bit further down here. See, we're going to get our paper. We're going to throw it. No, let's do the page this way. Like that. I mean, we can still place something up here, or it's just going to have to be something small. And then this right here, I want it to look like it's like lifted up, like where the page has been turned one too many times. Because it is Santa's book. Naughty and nice. I think that's what it is, right? Naughty and nice. Ya no sé. Okay, so I used that. And there is our book. If you wanted to make it a little bit more vintage looking old, then you can go in with some brown, and then go in with some brown clay. You can use brown clay instead, like the Debbie, which one is your light brown? The coffee? No, the cream. I'm staring at it. Debbie's like, come on, Maria. How many times have you ordered that clay? Anyways, you can do the light brown. If you have dark brown, you can mix it up with some white and lighten it up a bit. If you want to keep it this color, by all means, it's up to you. It is your book. But before I add anything on it, I want to go a little bit more. I want to add like cute little designs here. Like I want to print. I have some stamps. And gracias, amiga. I have some stamps, and I want to go in here and stamp like something like it's a, what do you call that leaf? Like the mistletoe leaf, and then stuff like that. Like little drum set, like whatever. I just have to make sure that my ink is good. So anyway, so I'm going to stamp that, you know, on here. And that's what we're going to be doing. I would do it now, but because the clay is still soft, I don't think it's like it will hold on it. You know, well, it would hold unless it is completely dry. I can't wait to see the end front. Gracias. Gracias, Ramona. So, este pedacito, I'm going to trim that off, you know, but later. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I want it to completely dry, and then I can just line it up with the rest and just trim it. This side right here, I don't. It's going to stay longer because it is, like I said, it's an extra piece. So here we go. All right, now I'm going to go right ahead and glue it. You know, I'm not going to do nothing else to it. So I am going to be using. We're going to use this one. It's just that this is taking too long. Hola, Jamie. Gracias, Jamie. Gracias. So the next thing what we're going to be working on are the boots. Okay, so and for the boots, you're going to be needing 2 of these. Make sure they're empty. Make sure you drink the water. Don't throw the water out. No. Drink it. Drink your water. Save your bottles. Now, depending on how big you want the boots, it's going, you know, you get those size of bottles of water. And I don't know if I should have taken this off. I'm not promoting, but if you want to, you know, como se dice, if you want to, what is that word I'm looking for when you talk about them? I need more cafe. What is that word? What is that word? Sponsor. That's the word. If you want a sponsor. Anyways, so yes, vamos a need, okay, so just waiting for this darn glue. I need to grab more. Ay, come on. Salsa. Oh, ya lo escuché. He's walking past by too. A ver si no comienza a chillar ahí. So far, he's been acting cuckoo. He likes spending more time running outside. Especially now that like I trimmed a lot of my trees, like smaller trees, took them out, didn't like it. Bushes, I added bushes también, like a privacy. I don't know what that plant is called, but it's like a privacy bush, you know. He loves sniffing everything. Okay, so we just went ahead and add that. All right, so we're going to need 2 bottles. Mira, aquí las tengo. Okay, y las botas, we're going to put them like right there. So if we have the boots there, right, maybe ponemos las botitas ahí, right? 2 little boots. The boots were, let me see, allí, so it's going to be about that much. So we're going to do the toy sack here. We can add some toy sack here. We'll add some the Christmas lights and ornaments like coming out from the boots. Okay, we're going to add right next to in the toy sack. We're going to add the toys. The top, the teddy bear. Was there anything else? We're gonna do that there. We're gonna add those in the sack, and then the present, we're gonna place it like right here. And on top of the present, no, acá podemos poner the drum and maybe the present on top of the drum, and then we can add. Wait, no, I'm forgetting the nutcracker. The nutcracker is probably gonna be on this side. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But there is a lot of stuff we're gonna be doing to our book. And if you're doing this with me, yay for you and for me. Yay for both of us. If you, once you finish yours, I hope you share with me because I want to see how yours turned out. If you want to make yours totally different, by all means, go for it, because I also want to see, you know, how you get the idea and you just go with your imagination. You just go all crazy with it. I would love to see what your take of the Christmas book would look like. Okay, so voy a esperar que esto se me seque. Los lines los voy a pintar gold. Okay, I'm gonna paint all of these lines. I'm gonna paint it gold. So, you know, and then this también. Can you visualize that? Like gold, not dark, but like a light gold, you know. Entonces la línea de la página is gonna be gold también. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so cute. Say, or maybe we can do like a rainbow. No. Don't go there, Maria. Okay, because then I'm gonna want to add a unicorn. Anyways, so vamos a hacer eso. So the next thing, como dije, I'm gonna wait for it to dry. And then I am going to paint it gold. I'm going to take a picture so y'all can see, you know, the finish of the book. The stamp, I'm going to show you the stamps también, you know. Or maybe I can just do that once I'm done with this and then just show y'all every step I did from there. But the next thing we're going to work on are some boots. So you need 2 bottles of water. We're going to cut these bottles. So we're going to this is a 16.9 ounces. So we're going to need like about 5.5. So just pretty much where the label starts, this part right here, we're going to cut that off. Okay. And then if you get a bottle, make sure that it's flat. You could use a round, it can be round here, but it's easier if you do a flat. Okay. We can do the teddy bear on top of the present. Yes, of course. And then we can, we're going to use some round foam balls. Okay, the little size, I think is like, maybe it's a size 2. Yes, a size 2. I think it's big enough, a size 2. I don't have one here. I'm looking at something that I have that is a size 2, and I think that would be a perfect size. So a size 2 ball, if they still have any, they have them over at the Dollar Tree. You know what? Give me 1 minute. Maybe I have one here. But yes, I do not. But anyways, okay. So that's gonna be the next thing. Now I really want to make one. Of course. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Trust the process. But yes, do make one. Anyways, okay. So I am going to add a list next time when we're in here on Sunday. So to let you know, like everything we're gonna need. And ¿qué más? I'll probably add it earlier in the day, so this way it will give you enough time to gather all of those things together. But even if you don't, always remember that, you know, you can always watch the video, watch the replay, and then this way you'll know all of the items that we're going to be needing, and you can gather them up. Okay, and I am going to be sending the video over to YouTube so you can watch it in a bigger screen, and yeah. You can see a lot better because I know I need to half of the time. But anyways, okay, I know it's harder to see like over the phone. It's terrible. Okay, so my friends, thank you so much for coming in. I do appreciate every single one of you for hanging out with me today on this beautiful Sunday. I hope you continue to have a blessing day. And if you do decide to make a Christmas book and everything else we're going to be adding to it, yay for us. And if you do, send me a picture of how your Christmas book, okay, looks like. So again, I'm going to wait until it's completely dry. I'm going to paint the pages gold, and then I'm going to go in with my stamp, my Christmas stamp, and I'm just going to stamp something like right here. I don't want to do the whole thing. I'm also going to, once it's dried up, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to write nice and naughty. Those might be covered up with the stuff that we're going to be adding, but some of the letters will be showing. So anyone seeing it or looking at it, they're going to know what, you know, the book is about. Okay. So thank you so much. No, thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Ramona, for being here. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you to everyone who has hung out with me. I hope I see you next Sunday. But before Sunday, I hope I see you on Wednesday with Debbie's from the Bright Ideas Crafters and Marketplace. I hope I said that right. and with Spanglish amigas. So, gracias. What is the size of the book? The size of the book, I left the measurements on my page, pero with all the stuff that I used today, except I didn't add the ruler or the scissors, pero a 9 by 11. 9 by 11 is the size of the book, and then the thickness is, and this thickness right here, it is a ½ inch, but the whole thing is 1.5 inch. Okay, because just remember we cut this part right here. Okay, so what you really can do, you can just get these two. You don't have to do all of that cutting. I only did it because I was trying to get that angle in there, pero it doesn't matter if it's flat like this. It really doesn't, because you can see a little bit over here, pero acá no me salió tanto como quería, but I don't care. It's my piece, so I'm fine with that. But if you want to get like one long strip of 11 by, like I said, 9.5, and then if you want to get 4 small sides of 5, cut those. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I'll see you Wednesday, girl. And then just glue those together, and you can just skip the whole cutting part like this, because cuando dije con el clay, and better that one piece that I told you that was like broken or something, you can't see it, because now I don't even remember where I saw it at. But anyways, all right, my friends. Entonces, yeah, okay. So I'm going to let this completely dry up. I'm going to come back in here a little bit later, because I am actually going to go outside and clean my patio. Once it's completely dry, I'm going to take a picture, or I'll probably just do a quick video and just show you every other little step I did, just in case you want to see that. So this way you can see the full thing. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Again, have a great Domingo. Happy Sunday. And keep staying safe. Keep being kind. And many blessings to all of you. And until the next time, bye. Y si se me portan mal, inviten. That means if you misbehave, invite me. Invite me. Bye.